Mr. Anil Agarwal, the Executive Chairman and Founder at Vedanta. He joins us on the show. Mr. Agarwal, good morning, sir. Pleasure having you on the show. Glad that you could take time out from your busy schedule and join us.
Good morning. Good morning to all of you.
Thank you so much. So firstly, on the correction that's playing out in metal prices, it's been an 8 to 20% crack that one has seen in base metals. Do you think 2017 rally in metals as such, and especially base metals, has halted?
You know, this definitely there is a correction, but I don't see, because there is no new mines are coming in the world. Sometime when the anything happen in China sneeze, everybody get caught the cold. So this is, but I see overall the demand is great. The price correction has taken place, but if you see the oil sector, it has jumped almost 30-35%. So it's balanced out if you choose the natural resource sector. But I see aluminum price around 2,200 should be. I'm looking at copper around 6,500 to 7,000. I'm looking, the zinc is the metal which is a very important metal, and I'm looking the zinc price to be around 3,000, 2,600 to 3,000 rand. And these are the prices we have to factor in our manufacturing. So sometime it is nice for our consumer in India to get the benefit of this.
Now, currently, given where metal
also,
prices
if you look at,
are,
you know, India, yes.
no, currently, Mr. Agarwal, Nikunj also joining in. So currently, where metal prices are you producing above your cost of? I mean, are metal prices above your costs of production, or in some key categories they've also fallen below your cost of production?
No, not at all. Not at all. We have fairly good margin. Yeah, we have a margin of about 15 to 30% in all our sector, and we are one of the lowest cost of producer in the world in all the sector. Though the aluminum, copper, zinc, iron ore, oil and gas, all are absolutely tighten the belt. I always said everybody is going to die, but we are going to die the last. That the kind of cost we control.
Not, Mr. Agarwal.
So, if you see that, yeah.
No, just taking that point forward, the glut in inventories in individual metals has made a comeback, even for zinc that you just pointed out. Is this due to more players making a comeback, taking advantage of the higher prices?
Yeah, sometime, you know, the trading company do the hedging, book the profit, but the demand still is great. India, we find we are India play. You know, if you look at, I'm very bullish on India. I focus on India and India subcontinent, India, Nepal, Bangladesh, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Burma. This put it together, 25% of the population of the world, and we are the only resource company in a proper way to cater. So I'm very focused there, and I don't see any. I'm looking entire sector about, by and large, double-digit growth in all this area. So it is something very challenging for us, step by step, to put up the project, to run this project, because fundamental mind of the entire India subcontinent is to import based. They don't believe sometime the Mother Earth, which is for us the survival, above the ground, below the ground. Above the ground, we keep the focus. Below the ground, we think that we have to import, whether it's a oil and gas, whether it's a copper, whether it's a uranium, whether it's a iron ore, anything we think, or coal, we think that we should import. And India's geology is one of the best geology in the world. And it is very important for us, being an Indian, if we want to survive, eradicate poverty, and create job, to look at how can we produce more and more. If you look at entire world is going through the economic competition, not the war competition, whether it's a China, whether with the America, India being Narendra Modi being the Prime Minister, his focus was always the economic front, and which is there. So I'm very positive as far as the consumption is concerned, because against the world we don't have even 10% consumption what we should have, even with the China. So we have to step by step keep increasing our production to bring prosperity in our country. So I'm very happy that I'm producing 30% oil of the country. I'm very pleased that I'm producing almost 100%.
Agarwal, but I just want to talk about the point that you were earlier making. When China sneezes, the world catches a cold. Just tell us a little bit better about what exactly are the indicators that you're getting from China right now. Are there signs of a slowdown? Is it worrisome for metals? And more importantly, is there a divergence between global prices and Indian prices, or do you think they're much correlated?
Commodities are was always correlated, but China, if you see, they're very. If you see the Chinese company, you will never find any news comes out like in India. In India comes up of insolvency or environment or anything, and the government is very conscious because they know the investor class are very sensitive. So if you look at the market cap of all these Chinese companies remain there, because these are the company government keep very close eye on this company, and I'm sure India is going through the same process. We have to look at internally, fundamentally, we have to progress. So there is no slowdown if you see the number in the consumption in China, but sometimes because of due to the correction, some of the perception, this happen. But in general, if you have to accept 10 to 15% plus and minus prices in the mining, we have to accept.
You know, we also understand that the income tax department is selling shares of Vedanta. I believe these are shares of Kane which were there with them. What is going on with that income tax transaction? Will they be selling the residual 2.5% stake in the open market, or promoters are likely to pick it up? Because it's the first time I have heard that the income tax department is selling some equity in the market.
Yeah, but you know, if you this is very unfortunate. The retrospective tax has, you know, we have to look at the bigger picture. The Kane is one of the finest company, the way they produce oil, but because of this retrospective tax, sometimes the extension, small things, the investor class has so this to take you through retrospective tax come in because of the merger. They have about 3.5 to 4% share. Kane Energy, the parent company. Sometimes people get very confused. Kane Energy and Kane, they are two separate companies. Vedanta has nothing to do with the Kane Energy, and the income tax department has attached those shares, and they have decided. The government has attached those shares, and income tax department has decided to sell this share. And they have sold, I believe, about 1% share. They may be looking to sell another 2% share. It's a great opportunity for any investor to come in, because the kind of number which we are coming out with, the company performance is phenomenal. We are one of the cash-rich company. We are throwing cash. Our balance sheet will be great. We will be one of the best profit for this year for Vedanta. So it's very unfortunate this share being sold, but sometimes it is a opportunity for investor to take the advantage. But I'm with you that the 1% share has been sold by income tax department, and because they may be looking some revenue for this year, and
Right.
it's a large value, so they may be selling another 2% share.
Absolutely. Mr. Agarwal, another opportunity I think that your company is sizing up and what investors are very keen on is to understand your plans with, scaling up in the steel sector in India. Of course, you've acquired Electro Steel. One wants to understand whether you're going to be bidding for other such stressed assets in India as well, and what's the broad outlay? Also, will you be looking at coal mining as another business stream?
Yeah, I'm very focused. For me, India. I look at, and I'm a fighter. I'm fighting, and I'm looking how can I contribute whatever the manner. I can't go in the front or the border to fight, but I definitely going to produce more oil for this country because I produce at $6. I'm going to produce more copper. I'm going to produce more iron ore because my Prime Minister wants 300 million ton steel to be produced in India. So I'm going to produce more iron ore. So and we have a phenomenal geology. Sometimes our foreign investor, foreign company, very have a question mark to come to India, and I've always said, initially you will find little hiccup. But this is the best country because we have the finest geology, you have best of human resource, you have a 3-side sea and the best weather and the democracy. With this will be the best platform and 25% population of the world. This will be the best place for anybody to come and start the business.
Right.
So as far as our plan is concerned, we are looking to produce 50% oil of this country, and we are looking to we are going to invest.
Right. Mr. Agarwal, I can't not ask you about this, but what has been the financial hit so far because of Tuticorin smelter being shut down? How is it that you're meeting your orders for refined copper, and what loss can it bring to the company per se?
Yeah, you are more than welcome to ask any question when I'm on the camera. I'm very transparent. I'm running 22 years. We are running this plant in Tuticorin. We are one of the best revenue collector for the state government. We have 3,000 to 4,000 direct employed and about 50,000 people indirectly involved. This incidents, again I'm clarifying, we have no environmental incidents. We had nothing was going on in the plant. There was a protest in general for the expansion of the plant. So what happened, the protest has been about 6 kilometers away from our plant, and very unfortunate this incident has taken place. But it is very unfortunate that India has to import copper. Copper is not come from the sky. It has to be processed, and 50 companies in the world process this copper. We are one of them, and I can claim and say that we are one of the finest technological company to produce the copper. And I have said earlier, and I'm saying now, world any agency can come and verify and go through all the screening, and they will find that our plant stands digital and one of the best plant. It is very unfortunate the vested interest want to sell the copper, they want to sell iron ore, and they are taking advantage of our democracy to shut this plant.
What losses have you incurred so far, sir?
I believe in the government.
Mr. Agarwal, what losses have you incurred so far because of the smelter shutdown?
If you look at overall, this is about 2% of our balance sheet. We will have overhaul in general a profit loss about $200 million, and if the plant is shut down for the whole year, we will have a loss of about $100 million.
Okay. Are you, okay, just because there's so much interest around this issue, Mr. Agarwal, and you're being so candid with us, which we really appreciate, by the way.
Of course, of course.
So what is...
and I can tell you, it's not interest you, it interests the whole world.
Yeah,
it interests the whole world.
Absolutely. So, are you working with a worst case scenario of the smelter being permanently shut down?
Go ahead.
What is your backup plan if that sort of scenario plays out?
You know, these are these are the national asset. These are the national asset, one of the finest asset. And one thing for sure, whether it's a government, whether there is an individual, anybody, when I come to India, the tremendous sympathy, and everybody is angry that why this plant can be shut down, and this is not the way to deal with. So I fully believe, whatever I believe in destiny, I believe in Almighty God. Whatever will happen, we'll accept. But I am 100% convinced the kind of plant we have and the kind of 25% population of the world live here, we need copper. You know, on this plant, 300 industry of copper, 200 industry of fertilizer, infrastructure is depend, and they are importing now 3 times more price paying and importing. This is not fair. We cannot remain poor forever. You can verify the plant, you can go through the everything, but how can the investor will shake in their heart, because it is very difficult to build the confidence of the investor. And Tamil Nadu was one of the best places to put up the industry, because it has the infrastructure, it has a tremendous culture and education and the human resource and the natural resource. So I'm one of the largest investors in Tamil Nadu, and I have full belief. This doesn't affect to my balance sheet, but it is something. This is my first plant of my career, and I'm looking, and the people of my Tuticorin people are one of the best. So I'm not talking. We are only 10% affected, but 90% other people are affected, and they are talking. And again, I'm saying I'm ready for any kind of scrutiny, but the time is the essence. Time is the essence, because the industry don't put crutches in the industries. So they cannot, they walk with the crutches. It's very important. When the time loss, when these things happen, the industry go through very painful process. And you know, if you look at India, we have a tremendous entrepreneurship. It is very important that these are the testing time, and I'm willing to take any kind of challenge as far as technical is concerned, as far as the copper plant is concerned, to stand out to prove myself.
So one very quick question, and I'm going to skip the topic of Tuticorin and move about the financial structure. Now you're looking at delisting Vedanta Resource from London because you want to work on a simpler holding structure. Are you also working towards making your holding structure much more simple in India? Because for an India business, the holding structure is easy to understand, but it is not very simple.
No, but if you look at, I was very India-centric. I've gone about 16 years back to UK, and the Indian government has supported me for my listing in UK. I have raised $33 billion in UK, brought in most of the money to India, and built the oil company, built the aluminum company, built the copper company, built the iron ore company, and created tremendous asset and the job. And you will not believe that the last year we have paid 60,000 crore tax to the Indian government, which is one of the largest. And this is what we have done. And if you see every investor of our London listing is so happy. I'm paying almost close to 30% premium for the share. So everything is win-win. It was not required at this point of time. The purpose was served. We have to simplify the process. India is very matured. Indian Stock Exchange, the SEBI, everything is phenomenally good. So everybody, we have decided that we delist our Vedanta PLC, remain London India Vedanta Limited, which definitely has a very clean structure, except we have a subsidiary of Hindustan Zinc, which we have around 70% share. Government has intention to give another 20-25% share, and whenever they give, we will take it, and then we can merge it together and make it one Vedanta Limited. But at this point of time, I'm very comfortable to run entire company together.
Appreciate your time, Anu, in between meetings. So glad you could join us, and thank you for being frank and candid about your thoughts on Tuticorin.